Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Red Hare Inn. I am your Innkeeper and your Dungeon Master, Logan Hanley, here to spin you and the adventurers you see before you a yarn through the lands of Ecriom. Before we get started, we're gonna do some shout-outs. We're gonna talk about some sponsors of the channel, and then I'm gonna hand it over to my wonderful party, the Barefoot Bandits themselves, to talk a little bit about themselves before we get tonight's session rolling. Shout outs. We got Brianna Flame, amazingly talented, awesome creator of these overlays, as well as other digital content that you'll see on our channel and also over on the Initiative Order, who I'll talk about later. She also does amazing photography, which you can find on her Instagram. So if you need any photography done, if you need any overlays made, if you need any like digital or graphic design done, Brianna Flame is your person to go to for that. Next, Esoteric, the extraordinary cartographer that created the maps of Ecriom that you see behind me. If you are looking for maps for your own setting or just like little projects that you're doing, check out Esoteric. They're incredibly awesome to work with, and they're really, really awesome. He ended up doing a bunch of like little itty bitty things that are now big parts of the world, thanks to him. And then last but not least, for our shout-outs, Del Borovic, the wonderful Del, created the character art that you can see down below me. So if you're looking for custom character art, and I believe they do some like other design stuff too that also is art-based, check out Del. Next, our sponsors. First and foremost, Dragon Rock RPG Design. Daniel Lieberman. Ooh, I was about to say Daniel Rene. Daniel Lieberman, Rene Beauregard. The dynamic duo of homebrew, bringing you unique and creative content to the TTRPG community. Whether it's writing their own content or collaborating with other creatives, their goal is to bring their extensive experience and expertise to any materials that they work on. Next, Umbral Oculus Dice, and today we have something special as my horde. I'm finally giving away, we are finally giving away one of the sets of dice that I've been hoarding since November. So it's been real. It's been fun. Let's be honest, it hasn't been real or fun because these dice roll horrible for me. But they will roll horrible for you as well. So you can get this set of beautiful dice, and hey, look at that. All I need to
Was
do
that
is...
you just admitting that you have been using the dice and they don't no longer work? So you're giving them away?
They never worked. That's why I'm giving them away finally.
It's only because of you and Ronan. I don't know. Everybody else rolls real well.
But they're beautiful. They're this wonderful purple with like gold flecks, and then this like nice teal. Is it teal? Or is it like... Yeah, it's teal. Teal color. Paint job on the numbers. You get an awesome... I love these D2s. They're my favorite things in the world, mostly because I like flipping dice. And then your new D4s. I love your new D4s. And everything else is just like normal dice, so deal with it. But those two are great. Put the word barefoot, Barefoot, all one word, in chat for your chance to win some dice. And last but not least... Oh, wait, hang on. I haven't even done, like, the whole shtick for Umbral Oculus Dice yet. Taryn makes hand-poured dice. The end. She's an Eldritch being. Hashtag Umbral Oculus Dice. Use the code Red Hare Inn, all caps, for 10% off your purchases there. And then last but not least, the Initiative Order, also known as TO. They're a collective of passionate TTRPG players and creators that want to help the community thrive and grow. Their main goal is to explore and experience all types of gaming systems while creating an inclusive community for all their players and viewers. I am actually going to be playing in one of their monthly community games, so I'm actually excited. We're going to be playing some what is that? Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's what I'm doing. So I'll be in that. I think Eddie, you might be signing up for that one too. So I'm gonna see you there. Hopefully,
we'll see.
I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed.
Yes.
I'm gonna call your job and make a threat. Just give me the number. So that way
please don't do that.
I'm not.
Please don't.
I'm not. What? It's gonna be like I'm gonna dump 1 million dogs in that general area if you don't let Eddie play D&D with me.
Not the dogs.
Does your mug have foam in it?
Oh, have you not seen my
it's a
mug?
foam top.
No!
I've only been using it for like the last
How have I
month?
missed that this whole
so it's a
time?
giant like water. It's like a half gallon of water that has the top is a. All right, I'm gonna.
I thought
Yeah.
Perrin had the low perception.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can't get the. Now I can't get it. Damn it, Eddie. There we go.
I broke everything.
No, yeah.
It's my
but
my
no,
mission
it
is
has,
complete.
It has foam on top. It's really fun, and I drink
That's
a
so
lot of
cool.
water.
It's also entirely possible that I have seen it and I just have short-term memory.
I'm
but-
also very like selective. I'll like put it down here and just go, and then put it
Yeah,
back.
he like tries to be sneaky about it for some reason, which leads me to question things.
Anyway, let's talk about you guys, the amazing cast and players of the Ecriom Expeditions, the Barefoot Bandits. I'm gonna start with Eden today. Try something new.
Today, try something new.
Try something new.
Hi, everybody. I'm Taryn, also known as Valrook across the socials, a generally creative human TTRPG player and GM, dice maker under the moniker of Umbral Oculus Dice, and an Eldritch entity. Yeah, that's pretty much me doing the dice things. I am also over on the initiative order starting up this month. Be paying attention to the socials for our announcement forthcoming. If you like sci-fi and sand, then you'll want to watch the new show over on the initiative. I'm so sorry, Anakin.
Anakin will not be watching.
And course,
Anakin's not part of this, but
it gets
if you
everything.
like other sci-fi places, then you should keep an eye out for that, because I'll be doing that thing. And then here before too long, I'll be weaving some other tales around the Red Hare Inn.
You can talk about that. We're only like a month out.
Really?
Yeah, talk
I get
about
to
it.
say
Sure.
stuff?
Why the hell not?
I'll be running a mini series here at the Red Hare Inn and be granting a little bit of my spoopy prowess with an amazing, absolutely kick-ass cast. I am stupid excited for who I've got at my table, and I get to torture the other half of Dragon Rock a little bit. So I'm very excited. But it's going to be fun. We're going to delve into it's definitely an older history, but we're going to get into some older history. And of course, I can't help but build into some backstory. It's going to be cool.
Heck yeah, I'm excited for that too.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I just try to give enough space just in case you got something else you want to say. Hi, everybody. My name is Tony Beauregard. I'm one half of Dragon Rock RPG Design. You can find us over on Twitter at Dragon Rock RPG, as well as Facebook, the same moniker there, and on Instagram at Dragon Rock RPG Design. We create 5e supplements for Dungeons and Dragons. We have new stuff coming out the pipeline eventually, likely going to be druids, from what I hear. Keep your eye out for that. We are also preparing for the next mythical melee that's happening over on the initiative order. It is Super Smash Bros. Themes, everybody. It's going to be exciting. We're making a whole bunch of stat blocks. It's going to be a traditional tournament style, like the original mythical melee was set out to be. So it'll be 4 different 4v4 or 1v1v1v1 fatal 4-ways to eventually lead to a championship match where everybody will fight against each other to see who is the greatest Super Smash character. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. Stay tuned for more details on that. I will hand it to my beautiful sister right over here.
Oh, shucks. I'm so excited for that. That's going to be awesome. I'm just going to watch and just scream at my television screen as I watch it. Hi guys, I'm Utahime. You can find me on socials at Utahime Cosplay, Facebook, Instagram, now on TikTok. Whoa! And Twitch, I've gotten back to streaming on my own channel for a change, so you can catch me over there too. And if you want to follow me on Twitter at Brianna DeCoster, I'm up to lots of different tabletop shenanigans. So if you want to tune in tomorrow for the continuation of the action play of Hunter the Reckoning, the day shift over on Renegade Games at 6:30 Pacific time, I play Angelique Dubois, a club owner, and she has some special abilities that she's kind of discovering through this crazy it's been only 24 hours, almost 48, but already so much chaos has happened. Also, too, if you want to go over to the initiative order this Friday, it's the continuation of the Alien TTRPG that Danny has been running for us called No Turning Back. That's at 6 p.m. Pacific time on TIO. It's been a really, really fun time with that cast. And then on Saturday, I get to join the Slav Squat Squad over on Lord Gasumba's channel. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It's my first time doing like 1E, 2E, so we'll see how that goes. That's at 3 p.m. Pacific time. But basically everything else, just follow my socials and you see what I'm up to. So, yeah.
Cool. Moving on down to the discount bar.
I just realized I was muted this whole time. Hi everyone, I'm Eddie the Discount Bard, Twitch streamer, jack of all trades, master of none, and full-time purveyor of shenanigans. I am here today as Art, our lovely little goblin artificer. Outside of here, if you want to follow me on the social medias at Discount Bard, you can follow all my various shenanigans, whether it be Sea of Thieves or just general troublemaking on Twitch, TikTok, or whatever other avenue they're in. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Hey, casual.
Oh, hey, what can I say? It's Jay, casual. You can find me on all social media at Just Too Casual. I technically only halfway exist on the internet, but that's because I'm cooking something. I'm brewing something mighty fine, I would say. It's been refined and redefined in a way that I think some would say is very desirable as you dive into deep storytelling. Might I say it will be phenomenal in a way for this 5e compatible experience. But for now, you can just look at animednd.com for more information as that happens. Casually, of course. Now, back to brooding in the darkest corners of my soul.
Okay. Well, on that note, friends, the time has finally come. So come on in, take a seat, grab a pint, and let's adventure together on tonight's session of the Ecriom Expeditions.
Oh, yeah.
You, but that's Grody.
You're welcome.
We did not catch that. That's
God damn it!
I unmuted myself.
You're getting
first.
good at this.
I unmuted
You're
myself
getting really
first,
good.
and that's
You're
why.
getting good.
Nasty.
Oh nope! I
I
put
made
us
a
on
joke.
the. I put us on the. I fucked up.
You were
I
like
fucked up and
halfway there.
Put us on the hold screen.
I put us on the hold screen. Yep, you're right. Because I fucked up trying to mitigate Terran damage.
We're halfway there.
And they all lived happily ever after
Yes,
at the end.
and Roxanne.
You guys, we play this game every 2 weeks. We miss each other a lot, so,
Yeah.
So a lot
things
of,
happen.
If you ever watch the VOD, skip like the first half hour because that's just us bullshitting. Because we haven't seen each other in 2 weeks, and then the rest of it is serious role play most of the time, or brooding.
Yep.
What
Well,
happens
it's true.
off screen inevitably bleeds into whatever it is we're doing live here on stream.
Or
It's true.
sometimes we just like to make Logan embarrassed when we come back on with the worst things we can say.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's true.
Within reason. Within reason.
Within
All
reason.
right. Oh,
All right, little bottom boy, go
yeah,
on.
I put away my notes. I also fucked up and put away my notes, so I had to reopen them while you guys were doing all that, thankfully. But welcome back. Really quick recap, because, like, a lot happened, but not a lot, because they were on a boat, motherfuckers. Don't you ever
Don't
forget.
you ever forget.
God damn it, my brain is not, it's in a good headspace today. But welcome back. After taking some time to gather supplies for their journey, for the journey ahead, the party ventured to Swaygat's docks to procure a ship to take them to White Harbor and beyond. Speaking with the dockmaster, they were able to secure passage aboard a fairly defensible ship. However, the ship happened to be a Xantherum war vessel. Perrin cautioned the party before they boarded, and before exchanging pleasantries with the ship's captain and heading below deck. The trip proved fairly easy, and the voyage was fairly calm, though at one point there was potential threat of another ship coming and intercepting, and at one point Corvus's life was almost in danger of being thrown overboard. However, he swapped it with his Phoenix, our word for the thing that I can't say because of my Amazon thingamajig. But yeah, 2 days went by, 2 nice, easy days of travel for you all as you researched and chatted, learned a little bit more about how these conscripts of the Xantherum military navy functioned and what they thought of their actual job. These ones being a little bit more freelance now that they were away from the controlling grasp of the Empire. Though their captain was still a little bit of a stickler when it came to the rules, and had ties back to the Xantherum. You guys all awake on the morning of the 3rd day, the light of dawn coming in through the portholes of the ship and through the top. As gulls start to cry, you awake and eat some meager rations for breakfast and have some of Corvus's tea before heading onto the deck of the ship, where you can see before you the waves from the ocean meeting the fresh water coming in from the rivers of Cantor, splashing against each other, the foaming and turning white. You see White Harbor before you, what looks to be a single, lighthouse, standing alone on a cliff face with a small trail down leading to the port town itself. Sails are being pulled up, oars are being brought out as your ship starts to casually careen through the water. As you do. Let's see. Everybody give me perception checks.
Can I just say no?
Sure. You can say no. You're allowed to say no.
Yeah, I'm going to say no. And mostly because
Why
I'm
do you
busy.
say no? Why are you busy?
I'm busy.
All right.
I'm busy.
All right. Cool. I like it. I dig it. Everybody else. Eden, how'd you do?
Dirty 20.
Okay.
Very dirty.
Finar, how'd you do?
18.
Cool. Art.
I gave myself disadvantage because I'm still nose deep in a book, so that came out to 13.
13. Cool. And Corvus, did you roll? Or are you brewing?
I have like a passive 22. I'm.
Hey, that doesn't count because I also too have.
Yeah,
a-
everybody here has a
like-
passive. Hang on, let me check. 22, 21, 6. Oh, you know who the other one was? It was Hale, who was the other one who had really high passive
okay.
insight or passive perception.
He's passively waiting for us to come back so he can glower at us.
Yes,
But if I had to roll, that would be like a 10.
a 10. Okay, you got distracted. There's a really dark corner in the whole of the
And
ship.
walked by.
And yeah, but no. So Art, Eden, and Finara, as you guys are sitting there, doing your little bit, Finara reading your book on Sylvan, just kind of scanning the coast as you do. You see a smaller ship, sail unfurled, making its way out from this little bay, this alcove, where the harbor is set toward the Xantherum warship. You can see Captain Hakat kind of gaze out as it looks like there was a call from the crow's nest, and start to tell the crew to slow down as you do so.
Do we notice anything about the ship, like as far as just like, are they sailing any flags, specific flags, or anything that would kind of give us a hint to who they are?
Yeah, so you'd see at the very, very top, you'd see a flag or standard of sorts that has a rolling wave capped with white, and then underneath it, a swan.
Can I do a history?
Sure,
See if I know anything
do
about
history.
this?
Yeah, do history.
I was actually
She
gonna say,
reads. She reads.
does Eden see that?
Eden would have seen that as well, so would have Art.
Insight or something to see if Eden feels like that seems familiar to her.
Oh, that was Perrin that said that, not Fanara. My bad. Perrin, you can do that thing.
Oh, I didn't read it, so I'm not gonna read it.
I was actually going to do a similar thing where I'd want to see if I can go back and see if I happened across any sort of reading
I
material.
got a net 20 for a 21.
I'm probably not going to beat that.
Would it need to be? What would you want me to roll with it? Would that be history? What do we think?
Repeat what you were looking for again.
Specifically, Eden wants to know if this in any way reminds her of the growth.
Oh, Arcana.
Okay. Okay. Well, then that's an 18.
Eden, you're not getting any. You're not picking up any sort of vibes from that. I mean, the swan does bring back some memories, but there's nothing about waves or white-capped waves, overtaking a swan that would kind of call out to you. Fanara, with your above 20 roll, would recognize this as a flag that represents White Harbor itself. So this must be some sort of either trader or ship that belongs to the Coast Guard, if you will, of White Harbor. Looking at the sails, it looks more like this is more of a Coast Guard-esque ship, kind of like a patrol ship of sorts.
Thank you.
Yep. But as you guys kind of sit, enjoy the time, do the different little things that you guys do to kind of prepare yourselves for the day, the smaller ship meets and then kind of connects with your ship. Some lines are tossed back and forth. A gangplank is put out, and a human, this kind of scruffy-looking human, bald head, beard that's clean, but kind of, you can see there's bits of salt and like it's really dried out and frayed in places. Steps across and meets with Captain Hakat. While you guys are sitting there, you can overhear that the human begins to kind of get a little bit loud and, well, you can't come to port. We don't allow any warships of any kind, regardless of affiliation, to come in, even if it's to resupply. And Hakat is very firmly, well, we have passengers. That's all we need. Get them to port, and then from there we will be on our way. And the human, no, we'll take your passengers the rest of the way from here. They can board our ship, and we'll bring them into White Harbor. And Captain Hakat just, okay, if that's what is your customs here, then as emissaries of the Zenthirum Empire, we will respect those. And she kind of looks at the rest of the crew, and the crew's kind of just like, what the, like, you're looking around, and they're all kind of giving like the what the hell, we've never been denied entry at a port before kind of look. A couple minutes go by, that kind of situation relieves itself, and Captain Hakat kind of claps really quick. My friends, my stowaways, it looks like this is the end of your journey here with us. This gentleman here will be bringing you the rest of the way to White Harbor. And, thank you for your time, thank you for your patronage, and thank you for your company here on the seas.
Does that mean I have to walk across that stupid wooden board?
Yes, it does.
Can they get closer?
No, unfortunately, their ship, and you look, and their ship is significantly smaller than the warship and has like a single scorpion on the front, and that's about it. Unfortunately, their ship is too small, and if they get too close to ours, we can potentially start to pull them under, and we don't want that because then their ship would be sank, and we'd be forced to come to port, right, Captain? And the captain of the other ship is like, oh yeah, we can't get any closer, or else
When
might cause an
I
accident.
and it just pauses, looks at Art.
I was just going to say, Eden, I will let you fall, and Art's gonna extend a hand out to you.
Hey, but if I fall and die, I'm coming back to haunt everybody.
You're right, but you could also do this, and he just like snaps his fingers, Perrin poofs, and goes across the board,
Oh,
and he just kind of like holds his arms up. You could do it like that.
you're getting really bad at
Oh.
poofing.
Oh, I'm gonna have to learn that one.
And Eden will poof and appear like right next to the mast. And be holding on.
Thank you so much for your hospitality and also too for working on Infernal with me, so then I could be a little bit better at speaking it properly.
In Infernal, Captain Hackett responds, "You're most welcome, and may the sun rise to meet you wherever you go."
May the winds be always at your back.
And
I don't know what any of this
Fanara's gonna
means.
try to say what her brother just said in Infernal.
I'll say, since it's still relatively new, give me a performance check.
Yes,
Ooh.
I want to. I want
making,
to.
I like
like,
making
I
you
hope-
do that until you're proficient. Yeah, performance checks for this kind
I
of
just
thing.
want it to turn into like, I hope the wind blows up your ass.
Damn
Okay,
it.
so
if
it
it's
was-
that bad of a fail, then
It
we're
was
gonna
an
have to-
11.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
11
how much
total.
of how much did I say more like what Eden just?
Please
I
let
I
it
feel
just
like
be
it's
that.
I feel like it's like a nice medium. It's like may your winds always come from your back. And
In total Fanara fashion, that's
and
amazing.
Captain
Yes.
Hackett just kind of looks at you. In common now. Practice, please. For the love of gods, practice.
Oh, all right. My inflections aren't quite there, but I promise if we cross paths again, I will be much better.
I sure hope so. But that's like more of like talking to herself. But
Yeah.
because your passive is wicked high, you hear that.
And she's gonna kind of like do like a little curtsy and then like run like to go over to where her brother is.
Don't fall. Because Eden is just like,
Awesome. Yep. You just kind of tap 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 right across the gangplank over to the other side.
IRL, I would not do that.
Corvus.
I would die. I'm a pirate now.
Parrot.
Art's gonna look over to Corvus. Do you need a hand to hold?
I shall be sufficient.
Whoever says he falls, it's your fault. Holding on.
Okay. And Art's gonna make his way across.
All right, Art, you make your way across, no problem whatsoever. You guys have high enough like dexterity and footwork where it's not like I'm not really gonna challenge you guys on this. I was just kind of seeing if you guys would do anything cool as you made your way across, like Perrin Eden did, but
No, I'm a normal person who walks across normal.
all right, cool. You also
Broodingly.
make a dexterity saving throw. The gangplank doesn't like brooding. No, I'm kidding. You're fine.
I'll roll it just because.
Roll a brooding check.
Yeah, that's a dirty 20 on a brooding dexterity check.
All right, cool. You just like you're not even looking. You're just like staring up at the sky or whatever and brooding. I don't know. It's too bright outside to brood. Probably what you're thinking, but I don't know. You make it across. The gangplank is stowed. Sail is unfurled, And after a quick little push off by a couple of poles from the meeker crew that's on this small ship, you begin to make your way toward White Harbor. On the way, there isn't really the captain, unless you guys try to make conversation, doesn't seem to really be talking to you guys. The other crew members similarly look like they're more focused on the job than and making sure the ship functions. There's only Eden.
Every time one of them is looking away, Eden is making faces at them.
Okay.
Because she's picked up that they're rude. So constantly like trying to make like probably Finn and Art and Perrin, probably not Corvus, but trying to make everybody laugh.
Make a. It's not sleight of hand. Make a. I'll let you choose either stealth or deception. Stealth or deception.
I'm going with stealth.
Okay.
Charisma's my dump stat. Can I have advantage?
Can you have advantage? Is Grim helping you or something?
No, it's a 9.
9. So I feel like with like the normal crew, like every time the crew is like turning around and doing whatever, you're like making faces and getting some giggles and whatnot, and then you just like turn around to go to make the face at the captain, and the captain's been watching you this entire time. Yes, Finara.
Okay. Is the captain further up on the ship?
Yeah,
right
so
now?
when you guys came across like where the center mast is. There's only one mast on the ship. It's relatively small, and it's more of like a rudder rather than like an up high steering wheel type of thing. So he's not really up anywhere. He's just in the back of the ship.
Okay. Yeah. So Finara's gonna kind of like make her way over there. Hello. My name is Finara. I already recognized the symbol there. You Point Harbor. That where we're headed. How long have you been serving? I don't know if it's military that you guys all watch the ships that approach or what.
I've lived in White Harbor my whole life. This is more of a volunteer type of program that we do here, as he kind of stretches because his arms are getting really stiff and sore.
So you've lived there all your life. So, what can we expect? Like, I don't know if there's places of interest, good places to eat and such.
And he points to the lighthouse. That the lighthouse there functions as the temple of the Storm Lord, if you're into that sort of thing. There are a couple good restaurants. You have the White Clam. You have which also functions as a tavern as well. And then the Brazen Gull is the other one. There are some small shops and things there. White Harbor is while it's a small town, it does have a lot of trade that comes through it going northward to the Overlook and to the rest of the kingdom of the High Moors.
Oh, amazing! Thank you so much for explaining all of that and giving a little insight into where you're from. How do you like doing what you do? Have you been enjoying it? And she's just like trying to because she knows that Eden has been making faces. She's trying to kind of overcompensate with her niceness, trying to ask him random questions to try to cheer him up.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. That's a 4 because I had a nat 1 on the die.
You start to notice that he's starting to go like this and look over you. You're not the same. You're slightly shorter than he is, but it still looks like between the mast and the sails down and then you there, his vision's a little off. So he's look, hi, yeah, listen, I like what I do. it pays, well, this is volunteer, but what I do in real life, it pays the bills, so that's fine. White Harbor's a good enough village as any. Listen, can you, hey, can you guys all sit down? I'm trying to steer a ship here so that way we don't end up in the rapids, or what's left of them.
Perrin just like sits wherever he's standing.
Thank you.
I won't bother you anymore. I just wanted to make a few pleasantries.
Oh, I have no problem chatting. I can't see.
And then she's, even though she's small, she's gonna like try to shrink her body down a little bit.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude or curt, even with you or the captains. Honestly, I wasn't supposed to be on call today. And
Try harder.
what?
I said try harder. You're being very rude.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Sorry about that. You know, my friend Eden, she's a little nervous. She's not a fan of the water, so just try to keep that in mind. Sorry
Not a
about
fan
that.
of him either.
You were just on a. You're just on a
Yeah,
boat.
it's her first time at sea.
Oh, no way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, and he like looks at you for a second, Eden, like he might try like some maneuver that would be kind of risky, and then what's your intimidation bonus? I just want to see like what would be your passive intimidation?
Do I have a minute to do something before I tell you that?
I'll say you've had a minute between the conversations and like you being able to do whatever you want. Yeah, I'd say you've had a minute.
Okay. Well, Eden will fidget with her finger for a second, and then it's a +4.
So passive of 14.
Never mind. We'll be there shortly. I would hold on, or if you want to hang on to the mast or tie yourself to the mast. He kind of looks at you, Eden. The waters closer to where the river lets out tend to get a little bit choppier, so you may want to hold on. And like as you guys are going, you can start to tell it is starting to get to that like where you're up and down, that choppiness to the water.
Eden takes one hand and holds on to any rope, anything, and is still glaring. And like reaches over because Art is like swaying and holds on to Art and looks abnormally buff for Eden. There's like some like really nice like definition.
Just a little swoller.
People will see that Fanara is starting to look a little bit greener. There's more like where her she has her little scales that kind of line her cheeks. Yeah, it's starting to show a little bit brighter green.
Would you?
She's getting sick.
Would you have drank
from all the bumpiness?
Would you have drank the tea that morning?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
Make your Constitution save with advantage.
Okay.
Oh,
gosh.
I think Vin might be looking like she's getting ready to expel.
Oh no, I don't like that.
Someone.
So, I had a nat 1 that I rolled on my first roll.
Yeah.
You know, as per usual, and then I had a 6 for a whopping 8.
A whopping.
Someone get me a Steve. I mean a bucket.
So as you're yelling, "Somebody get me a bucket," Fanara, I'm gonna let you just you know what happens. I'm gonna let you tell this story.
She's looking around, like trying to find anything, like what her brother just yelled as far as a Steve. So she's gonna run past the gentleman she was talking to, like because she's still kind of closer to that area, and just like kind of, even though she probably tied herself with some rope, like kind of almost like it yanks her back a little bit, but she tries to pull her body over the side to just hurl.
All right, so you run. There's that brief moment of like, oh man, now I have to describe it. So you're running and you're like a foot away from the edge of the boat.
But I'm tied
the
to
cord
it.
goes taut, and like hits up against your stomach, and you just like a fountain let it all out over. Some of it lands on the inside of the ship, but some of it manages it to get over out into the ocean. And the captain just kind of like, as you're like kind of crumpling from that, the captain just kind of like reaches out to see if you're okay. That was kind of impressive. I haven't seen anything like that happen before.
Yeah, it's not one of my proudest moments.
Aaron like slides over as the ship rocks and dips, and just kind of like puts his hand on Fanara's lower back and just like starts to rub like up and down it, and then casts prestidigitation in front of her where there's like a little pile of refuse, and it's gone.
Thank you, Baron.
No problem, sweetheart. Take your time. It's gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and as you guys kind of relax, hold on, the water starts to get a little bit rougher, and then finally you can tell there's a port. Like you get to that point where you can visibly see where the fresh water ends and the salt water begins, right? Because of density and science thingies that Logan is not educated enough to talk about, other than when he sees a National Geographic thing. But yeah, you get to that point and the water like starts to calm. There's still this like layer of foam over the top of the water as you guys are heading in, but you guys manage to make it to port at that point relatively easily. Gangplank goes down. You all are able to disembark as you wish.
Eden will quick. How long has it been since the intimidation moment?
Maybe like probably like another like 10-15 minutes.
Okay. Eden looks a little less swole. Kind of returns back to her normal self, sees the dock, and like full on like sprints and like long jumps on the dock, and then is immediately crawling from the dock towards land. No hesitation, no words, just crawling. And this is not a reenactment of real life Terran crawling across the dock either.
Not even once.
Not even once. Not in a heartbeat. No.
Art manages to dodge out of the way.
Yep.
Cool.
And not get completely pummeled.
As you make your way into the dock, you can now see that this is a quaint little town. In the way I do civilizations in Ecriom, either it's a city, so like it's really big and kind of sprawling, town, so you kind of medium size, and then village or like hamlet or whatever lower is like small ass place. So this is like a more of like a medium sized civilization, would be kind of equivalent to what the Oasis is for Perrin and Finn. The houses, you can tell, are made of a combination of, you see woods, but you also see that those wooden buildings are farther like in closer to the mainland. But the majority of these are made of stone, or they're made of like peat moss almost, or some sort of like brick like layered moss. The tops of most of these are covered in shale or other types of like stone-like roofing, but most of it is stained, like salt stained. So you have that like whitish, grayish like mixing with the gray texture. The air feels just emanates salt water, just like it's not like that sticky kind of humid, but it's like the faintest amount of humid where like you can taste the salt on your tongue as you're breathing. You see other ships. There are plenty of other ships on either side of you that are docked. Some bringing goods in, some bringing goods out. You see a couple carts waiting at the end of the docks where workers are loading in textiles and fabrics and furs, crates of various fruits and what do you call it? Like melons and citruses and things like that. At one point, you see like this older lady who's like super hunched over, but she's carrying a wheelbarrow, and in the wheelbarrow it's like stacked with that moss like substance that is on the outside of some of these homes. But the town is yours.
Dangerous thing to say there, DM.
Wow.
Where are we going?
Well, now that we're here, he kind of like turns to Corvus.
You said there was another boat, right?
Well,
can
this is
take
like a
that way.
smaller one, right?
It's still
But
better
most-
than land.
That's not true at all.
It's certainly faster. That's for sure.
But I walked like a long way all by myself and I was fine.
That no one is discounting that, darling. Not at all. No one is saying that you didn't do a great job walking to finally meet us.
Short legs here. You can't really go that fast.
Oh,
Well,
I mean, yeah, says shared sentiment right here.
our two best options is to follow the way of the water and then head west once we reach towards Morlock. That way we can possibly get a ride, a convoy of sorts. However, the direct path from here to Deepwell is not one that's commonly trekked.
But why is that?
It's just not made with routes in mind.
Oh, okay.
I'll trust you guys to make a better decision. I'm a little biased.
Real quick, DM, how
Yeah.
dangerous is it with Corvus Snow, like that open area between White Harbor and Deepwell?
I was just pulling up my map as you were saying that, expecting you would know. I mean, it's fairly open plains. There are a couple sporadic forests. As you get farther north, where you'd be walking through, you'd be able to bypass the Deepwell Woods, which tend to be a little bit more of a dangerous area. The plains itself, can have all manners of various things. Make a history check for me.
Ooh.
We'll see how well you've studied the area around Deepwell versus.
No?
No,
Was that an option?
no is
We're gonna roll it.
no is always an option. You could say no at any time.
No, I think Corvus knows enough history that the dice will be nice to me. The dice are not nice to me. That's a 5.
That's a 5. Yeah, I mean, that it's mostly plains, a little bit of hills, and a little bit of forest. But as to the danger, you haven't heard any direct stories of things that have happened to travelers. Whether or not that's because there just aren't many travelers who go that direction, maybe one thing. But yeah, seems like it could be pretty safe if you chose to go that way.
Alright. So, we can take the chance and the less traveled journey to Deepwell direct. It would be a direct path, but there are troubles we would not be able to account for. Taking the river north to Morlock than west, those paths are well maintained, traveled. We would have a safer passage.
Well, I think that I'll go along with your expertise. I don't know this area at all, so since you seem to know more than the rest of us, I can't speak for everybody else, but I trust you.
I will trust you. But if it sucks, I will haunt you.
You don't like water, so I presume you should start haunting me now.
It'll be okay.
Okay.
You start to make your way in from the docks at this point, going into the heart of the city. And you can tell, much like the captain on your small ship on the way in had said, once you get past the docks, it almost opens up into one singular large town square, but it's more of a square as in rectangle, where the whole main strip, from the docks to where you would essentially go north into the plains and the grasslands on the opposite side, is rows and rows of little shops or little stands. Some are actual buildings that look like they contain shops. You'd see On one side, you can see the signs all the way kind of down. On the left-hand side, you can see the brazen gull, and then the white clam is a little bit closer to the dock itself. You can see that there is an inn, a singular inn. Doesn't really have a name. It's more of like one of those ones where it's just like, rest, relaxation, beds. Very just like, you want to sleep, come here type of deal. There's what do you call it? Oh my god, I just blinked for a second. That old lady who had the peat moss was dragging it over to one of these small little carts that has a bunch of like knickknacks and doodads and trinkets, and she puts it down and then starts to build one brick at a time. You can see her building almost like a bench or a seat for herself behind her cart.
Eden is going to run up to this little person.
Oh, hello there.
You seem really nice. Why are you sitting on mud?
Well, it's I mean, it's more than mud. It's moss and I mean, it is mud and dirt, but it's been dried. It's comfortable, and she like, here, come around, and
You will walk around.
she takes your hand and kind of see, and you press into it, and you can tell it kind of has that like sponginess to it. If I'm gonna be sitting here all day, I need to at least make sure my rear end is nice and cushioned and doesn't get stiff or sore.
Yeah, you should really take care of yourself because you're old.
Oh, I do my best.
That's good. You should do that because that way you can stay alive.
Yeah, that's usually what happens when you take care of yourself. Just stay alive, mostly.
Well, I've met other old people and they don't last so long. How are you feeling?
Make a medicine check. Are you doing the hand on her forehead?
Okay, that's a 15.
It feels warm. No, I'm kidding. No, her head feels fine, and she's thank you. I'm doing all right. I mean, I'm doing fine. We're
I'm from up north.
you're okay. Oh, how far up north?
Like foresty places. Like,
Oh, there's a lot of those up north.
there's a really one, and it's like kind of dead looking, and that kind of place.
You see her like sit there for a second. I don't.
It's okay if you don't know. Don't hurt your brain.
No, I haven't heard what.
I don't want you to hurt yourself.
No, I'm perfectly fine. I'm not gonna hurt myself. No, I haven't heard of a dead forest though. I mean, some say there's dead in Deepwell Forest, but not an actual dead forest.
There are dead things in Deepwell Forest.
Supposedly, there's dead things everywhere though, right?
I mean, that's true.
I mean, you're
But like, are they dead, or are they like mostly dead?
I've never left White Harbor, so I don't know. But
Then you should adventure. You need to spend the rest of your time having fun.
weren't you just telling me to make sure that I stayed safe?
You can be safe and have fun.
I'm getting a lot of mixed signals here, and I don't know what to do about it.
That's okay. Oh look, there's my friends. Thank you for the chair. And Ian will just leave 2 gold like on the seat and
Wait, if you're take something.
what do you have?
I have a lot of things. Roll D100
Dear God. These ones hate me though. Why do
Yeah.
you do this to me?
because those are the only ones where I can win.
But we hates it.
We hate it.
Oh hey, we loves that one. That's a 99.
And 99. So the thing that draws your eye is like dug in deep, and like there's things hanging, like there's little like amulets hanging and little like bits and baubles on all these shelves, and everything's like stacked and thrown together. But the one thing that draws your eye in the far back is this white porcelain creation, this long extended neck that comes out and kind of curls around, these wings that kind of furl back. Looks almost like a swan.
Eden will grab it. Can I have this one?
Sure, you can have
What is
that
it?
one. It's a swan. One of the traders from up north had it at one point, and I decided to buy it off of them.
Do you know what the swan means? Are swans things? Like,
Well, swans are usually a sign of beauty and grace. Sometimes, depending on your circle, refer to springtime, but I don't really.
would you call them children of spring?
No. I
It's a weird
a
question.
lot
know.
of
I
I
just
mean like ducklings can be considered children of spring, or like baby chicks. Like anything that's born in the spring would be children of spring, right? Flowers even.
that's a good point. Thank you. And Eden will leave 2 more gold
I d-
and will then walk away.
okay. Stay healthy.
You too.
What was that?
I have a worry about the old people.
Like all of them, as like a general thing.
Kind of, because I made a friend when I was on my way down. When I left, and they were my first friend, and I stayed with them for a few nights because they were really friendly, but they were really old and they lived by themselves. And then I woke up and they were not moving. And so that's when I started walking again, and then I met you guys. So I just wanted to make sure she wasn't gonna not wake up.
That's incredibly considerate for someone you don't know.
She kind of looks like her because they're like really short and wrinkly.
Most old women have that kind of look. Yeah. And he
Guess
just
I'm
like
just a softie.
he just pats her on the hand.
I mean, that's not necessarily true because I think if I understand, there are some races that actually tend to maintain their youth for quite a bit of years. So I'm not sure if that's always entirely true for all old people.
And Perrin just kind of like rolls his eyes, looks at Finara, and he just goes, "Yeah, I don't think I can forget how much Auntie goes on about how she's never aged a day. Good Lord."
I haven't
Yeah,
either.
yeah,
I'm 200.
it gets on Mama's nerves real bad. I mean, technically, Grandma is not that short. She's still like, what's she like? Oh my God, I think she shrunk a little bit, but she's like 5'9". That's still kind of tall.
She's taller than you, yeah.
But it's shorter than she was, so I guess she shrunk like a couple inches.
That would be, yeah. Sometimes, yes. Your bones can actually deteriorate so that you kind of like get smaller.
I think that had actually happened to one of my uncles, although he was only like 30 and he looked ancient.
What was your uncle?
Well, well, that's from back in the day.
You don't get to start with information like that and then pull it away, Art.
I think he means when he was living with
Oh,
not his father's.
Mhm.
It was a long time ago.
Corvus, you're old. Are you getting shorter?
What makes you think I am old?
Because
If
you're super
anything,
fucking grouchy all the time.
Says the one who is literally more than 5 times my age.
You said to start haunting you.
Yes, so old you've become a decrepit ghost bothering me.
So have I been misguided this whole time? Are you not an angel but actually a holy ghost?
What is it called? The holy? There are holy ones?
I don't know. I feel like I've read something about that somewhere.
Okay, you're telling mother. But all the ones that I met were like really spooky and did not have holes in them.
That's a fair point. Can you have a ghost with a hole in it? I've always wondered about that.
Oh, Eden. Oh, goodness me.
I'm really confused now.
Don't I?
Let's
Where-
ignore me and get on the boat or whatever. And Eden's just gonna start walking in a random direction.
Question: does Fanara see any place that looks like words on the street, like similar to that one area where she got all the books?
Oh, her book for a bookshop. Make
Like just like because it was like he's kind of peddling on the street, right?
yeah,
That's
like
right.
like a street stand. You know what? With your passive perception, you can see kind of down near the Brazen Gull that there looks like there's like a little booth set up. You can't quite make out what it is, but you can at least see like a couple pamphlets on the countertop of the booth.
She's gonna check it out.
All right. So as you start running down the street toward it, as you get closer, you can see that it's a little stand, like no bigger than maybe like 5 or 6 feet across, like 3 feet high. On the top of it, it says lime water. And then as you get closer, you can see pamphlets, a couple pamphlets that talk about the like how this is made, and there's 2 kids standing behind it. Hi. Hi, you want
Hello.
you want some lime water?
Do you mind if I take a look at the pamphlet first?
Yeah, sure. It tells you all about how we make the lime water from when we
I
get
would
the
very much like to know how it's made first. So she's gonna look through it.
Yeah.
How is it made?
It's like a little kid's art and craft. So like whatever fantasy crayons are, you got like hand
You mean
drawn.
crayons
No,
because they're wax?
Huh? Oh yeah. Yeah, whatever magic made crayons.
Magic
fantasy crayons.
This mysterious waxy substance with coloring
With
in
color.
it. Yes.
Yeah. You can tell there's like yeah. And anyway,
I'm
fuck
so
y'all.
sorry.
This is why
It's my
we-
fault. I
No.
started it with the pamphlet. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I
goodness.
started it with a pamphlet.
There was no need for pamphlets.
There's always a need for pamphlets, my friend. But no.
This is so detailed.
It looks like
this
so-
is fantastic.
And you're like the lingo is extra, like locally sourced lemons are picked from the markets of White Harbor. They're then brought to Samuel's mom's house where we peel them.
It's the last name Adams.
No, it's Scotch.
Okay.
Samuel Scotch.
That's a curious addition to that recipe. You said that how did the lemons factor into the limeade?
The lime water?
Oh shit, lime. You know what I mean. Whatever. Fuck y'all. Again.
Nope. Lemons are used to make lime water, and this is now canon.
Rocks fall, art dies. Damn.
Okay, Eden's just gonna come up and hand them a gold and take one of the cups.
They look at it.
How is it?
It's really limey. You can't tell if there's like, you're getting kind of like the margarita flavor of like just like without the alcohol, like without like the bite of tequila. So it's like you got salt, you got lime, and you got a little bit of water, and you can't tell if the salt is from because they put salt water into it or because they like sprinkled a little bit of salt in it, like as like to hopefully get rid of the bitterness. It's not horrible, but like you paid a gold for it, so it's definitely not worth that.
Has Eden ever had limes before?
Oh no! Ooh,
No.
Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's see if Eden.
Bad baby.
Yay! I love when they work in my favor. You start to pucker real, like you've never tasted anything this sour. Whoa, guys, Ronan's up. Let's all acknowledge that Ronan's up real quick. Hi, Ronan.
Ronan!
Yay!
Ronan, I miss you, Ronan.
The spirit of hale
He's
is
up.
with us.
It's 9 o'clock. Did you? really quick, guys. The king of West Virginia, the D&D Jesus, is among us.
Wow.
He has stopped
Whoa.
fighting Sasquatches to join
he
us
is-
today.
he's reclaimed his throne from the Sasquatch alliance of the Appalachians.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
I'm distracted now. Hi,
but
Ronan.
no,
I
your
miss
face immediately starts to pucker, Eden, as you've never tasted anything this sour in your life. Fenara, you're like nose deep in this pamphlet. So they locally source the limes. And then they bring them to Samuel's mom's house where they peel them and then process them. Afterwards, it looks as if there's a process where like half the time they actually have like a squeeze that they use to get the juice. The other time they like take a mallet to it.
And how old are these kids?
Samuel looks to be like at least 10 or 11. And then the girl that's like in the other chair, or like standing up next to him with him, looks like maybe a couple years younger.
Do you run this all by yourself? I mean, obviously, it mentions Samuel's mom's house, so I'm sure that Sam's mom helps with the process. But this is impressive.
Oh, and the girl, I can actually, no, so we get all the produce ourselves. We go back to Samuel's house, and do all of the processing of the limes there ourselves. We go and we actually have a local person who goes and gets the water for us, and then they bring it back in like these big what's your mom call them, Samuel? And Samuel's like kegs. These big like kegs yeah. And then we throw all the limes in there and let them soak. After we've like mashed them and pounded them up, and then like the little bit of liquid that we get from the limes, we wait until we're ready to sell, and we pour them into pitchers, and we bring it out here for you guys to enjoy. And we put
Entrepreneurs, you gotta appreciate that type of initiative, and you guys have. It seems like you got the whole process down. Very impressive. I'm going to go ahead and invest in your business because you have been working so hard to establish yourselves at such a young age.
And Samuel goes, wait, hang on. Does that mean? And the girl goes, yeah, hang on. And she dives underneath this stand, and like you can hear ruffling, and she, here you go. My dad is a trader, and so here, and you open it up, and it's an investment brochure.
How much to invest? Does she like where what does it say? I want to know, because now Fanar is invested in potentially this business.
Depending on how much you invest, you can. It depends. The more you put in, the more we guarantee a return. The less you put in, we obviously can't. We got to pay for things like the limes, or sometimes Samuel's mom decides to ground him. In that case, I got to pay for a space to process all the limes.
Okay. So how much it is like boxes? I forgot. Hold on. What does it say here? Is it boxes of limes? How much per box or bushel?
You can get
or bag.
Well, we typically sell them by like, and she's like this, and she holds up like a this size, like glass, and we just sometimes we pour them into glasses, sometimes we pour them into like here we do the little ones, but like if you were gonna have some sort of investor package, we probably give you some to take on the road with you, so then you can be like, hey, I got this really good lime water that you can and people can come here and buy it themselves. So yeah, are you looking to invest?
Potentially. I should probably taste it first, but I just got so enraptured into your business plan and the explanation of how this came to be that I got a little distracted. So let me try it first.
Yeah, of course. And Samuel, and here you go.
And then Fanara will down it. What does it taste like to Fanara? Because I think it might be a little different.
I mean, it's still extremely. It tastes more like for you. It kind of tastes like the water at home, where it's like this weird mixture of salt and fresh water. It's got the lime in there that gives it that little bit of citrusy and bitter punch to it, but there isn't much of a you've tasted things similar. It's not to the quality of anything that the Isles would have,
Okay.
but it's not like horrible. To
All right. So here's the thing, DM.
Eating
Because we're on that rabbit hole now. So because of the fact that Fanara was obviously raised in an environment where her mom is very talented as far as like making things and making it taste good, would she know basically a better recipe? So if she invests in this, basically there's some type of obviously return on said investment.
Oh, God, what type of check?
We're doing this now.
You know what? I'm gonna let you pick a skill
Okay.
that you think
All
is
right.
appropriate for this, because
Okay.
I can't think of one.
All right, let's see. Oh man. Trying to think. What would that fall under? I mean,
You know what? Do medicine, because I feel
medicine.
like
I was thinking either
yeah,
nature or medicine. I don't
nature
know.
or medicine. Either of those is good. Yeah, I'll let you pick out of those two.
Okay. Okay, 18.
18. So you would know. There's something that's a little bit more common in the Isles compared to what you've seen so far here in Cantor, but adding sugar to things would be a benefit to this lime water. It's a little bit rare.
Do they have like sugar cane? Like what is it? What's the
Yeah, it would either be sugar cane. There's occasionally like you've seen cubed sugar because like the people have used those for treats for horses or like put in tea and stuff. It's more common. It's more common in the Isles than it has been here in Cantor for you though.
Okay. So, because I don't want to take up too much more of your time because you have a business to run and also too we have our own business, I'm going to make this plain and simple. It's not quite there yet, but it can be. So, if you're willing to take my advice, and then she's going to write down basically like a breakdown of basically the sugar with the lime water, like the perfect balance, like, it's like 1/4 of this, blah, blah, blah. Like she's going to write down the recipe and she's going to basically be like, hand it over. Now I'm giving you gold here, not just, well, I will give you actual gold, but this is something that's going to help your business grow. So if you're willing to do what it says here, I'm going to invest in the business.
Persuasion with advantage, please.
Okay. Okay. That is, oh, that's 22. 22.
You hear as you hand the paper over and the two of them kind of look at it, you hear someone, I told you we should have got some sugar. And girl smacks over at Samuel. Okay, well, so we'll take your notes, and I'm gonna put them down here, and she puts them, and she hides them away. Sounds like a really appropriate improvement. Yeah,
Is this
I think
Jay? Is this baby Jay?
I think we can. Samuel's like, hey, what can I say?
You're feeling wounded?
No, I'm kidding.
Too true.
No. Well,
Are they running for mayor?
Jay ran for mayor?
He did.
What? All right.
Yeah,
that's
a story for another day.
We're gonna talk about that another time.
That's a sidebar for later.
That's right after the stream. Stay tuned.
That's a full-on conversation right
Ecriom
there.
After Dark, where we talk about Jay being mayor. But no, they genuinely seem pleased, and it looks like they're going to implement your idea of adding sugar to their.
And I'll make you a reasonable deal. 10% return on said investment.
From this recipe specifically,
Mm-hmm.
not our original.
No.
Can I confer with my partner real quick? And the two of them start
Certainly.
talking, but they're talking like loud and excited because they're kids and they don't understand the concept of like whispering when they're excited.
You also need better bottling. Just putting it out there.
Shit, and you hear something like, shit, she's right. And they turn around and
Watch your language.
Watch your profanity.
and they take a deep breath and they turn around and like make themselves look nice and presentable and deal. We'll take the deal.
And how much do you need to have the all of the rest of the ingredients to be able to bottle it properly and sell it to the masses? I need a ballpark number.
20 gold?
Deal. And then she's gonna put her hand out to shake both of their hands.
The little girl extends, shakes her hand, and then Samuel like does like the whole like Hoxalugi and goes for one of those.
As she goes to like shake his hand, Perrin will like look at her, nod, and like casts prestidigitation on the hand.
Shake the hand, and he like looks at his hand afterward. He's like, all right, but yeah, whenever you feel like dropping off the gold, that you may have to go get some exchanged or whatever. Like,
oh, right here. And then she's just gonna basically toss like a little pouch that has the 20 gold on it.
And they take the gold that Eden gave them and dropped it in there. Like, they look in, they're like,
all right, you should probably know the name of your investor. My name is Fanara Valar. And again, your names are?
I'm Samuel. And then this is Cleo. And Cleo.
Samuel
Cleo
and
bows.
Cleo.
Yeah. My dad says that I have to have contact information when I'm dealing with people for business purposes. So I don't know what that means, but do you?
We do not have a way for you to get a hold of us right now, although what my esteemed associate and sibling can guarantee in future is that we
Karen
will...
Hope Singer.
I am her manager, and I can assure you that once we have accomplished achieving the ability to reach out and communicate with you, she herself will find a way to contact you and find out more about your business.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And Cleo says, get him the little crate real quick. And Samuel's like, okay. And they bring you like a little crate that has like a couple of like mason jars full of lime water. Here, if you wanna take these to have, they're on the house. We're gonna start using your new recipe. So these, we're gonna sell them, but we might as well. Here, you got a crate of like 10.
Oh, all right.
jars of.
We should probably get your contact. Does the pamphlet have the contact information? Just so we have it, so then we have a way to obviously get in contact with you.
Yeah. Here, and she flips to the back. Cleo flips to the back of the pamphlet, and the very, very bottom, where like the info stamp would be, it says, Cleo and Samuel's lime water, Samuel's mom's house, White Harbor.
Fantastic. Pleasure doing business with you.
Yeah, yep, you too. And we're gonna segue away from that,
Yes.
and go quickly over to Corvus, because Corvus had things that Corvus wanted to do.
Yeah, because Corvus abandoned the entire party to go do other things.
Yeah.
So did Eden.
While you guys were so enamored by this, Eden, you were able to spit out that water before moving on and going away to do your own thing. And Corvus, you were able to slink off as well. Go ahead and give me either an investigation check or actually no, give me a charisma check.
Depending on what it is, I do have a background feature that I forget that I have because backgrounds.
Yeah, tell me about your background feature, because I like using background features because
specifically city secrets. I know secret patterns and flows of cities. I can find passages that others would miss. I can travel between locations, plus the fact that my hopefully roguish background, I get to know a lot of the underbelly of the city to find things that I need.
Okay, I'll make that investigation then instead of charisma, because
Appreciate
you know where to
that.
look.
It's a 15.
Cool. So you backtrack toward the docks. Initially, kind of thinking, well, you know what? If they're just kind of farting around, I'm gonna try to go get some business done, maybe secure a ship or whatever other things you were, kind of planning on. But then you catch a glimpse from the alleyway in which the white clam sits, like the back end of the white clam, and you can see that the door there has this almost like secondary latch to it from on the outside.
Yeah, Corvus is going to make way over, and will manifest Phoenix to kind of be a pseudo watch, but to keep a distance as Corvus approaches.
All right, so with Phoenix and standing at the kind of the corner of the alleyway in the main thoroughfare, you walk up to this door. The one thing you notice about this door is it's made almost entirely of like this washed out and like almost like matted on with the moss iron door. There's a single slat that is about eye level to you, and there, it looks like there's a handful of latches that kind of go on both on the inside and the outside.
I'd like to see if they're. I was just going to do a first initial, just a double tap knock, just to see if we want to just see if we can get a response from a basic knock.
Okay, so you knock real quick, and you see the latch open, and a pair of like steely blue colored eyes staring back through. What's your business?
I seek a way to deal with things that most can't handle. Tools that can take on the mightiest, but held by the common.
What passage do you take?
I take north. I dive deep through the well.
The slat closes. A moment or two goes by, and think that whatever you said may have either scared him off or not, but you hear quick unlatch. The door swings open. You see this two not dark enough to be a drow, but not like light enough to be a wood elf or a high elf. Almost like a mix of the two or three, staring back at you. Come in. Come in.
And then Gorbos will come in. Coming in, we'll move Phoenix to be right outside the door, but like against the wall without being like in the front of the door.
Cool. The one thing you notice is that instead of going into the white clam, this goes immediately, like the stairs go immediately down. It goes down probably like two, or what would essentially be the equivalent of like 2 floors down. And you're met with another door that the individual that had opened the original door walks kind of past you and opens it for you. Inside, you see a series of tables, only like 1 or 2 individuals in general there, and then a small desk on the far end with behind looks to be a curtain that extends the length of the wall.
Based on the details, this seemed like someone that deals in the trade that I'm hoping for.
Seems like the location seems right. The vibe, like the energy of this place seems right. Like the 1 or 2 people that are here don't look like patrons. They look like guards.
Yep.
Just like from your glance over at them. This definitely seems like a place that's more of for underbelly type stuff than anything.
And seeming where the curtain is, it looks like I'm supposed to approach the curtain kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gorvis respects the space, approaches the curtain, maintaining no form of hostility, armaments not being anywhere approached, keeping all hands forward at all times and visible.
The second that you do, the curtain like furls up at the bottom, and this little goblin comes like trotting over and hops up onto the stool that's sitting there in front of you. So, you've found your way here. How can we help you find your way out?
There are a couple options I'm selecting. One, preferred passage towards Deep Well. If we must go the long way through the water, of course, but if there's others. But more importantly, I seek to arm myself with more capable tools.
More capable, in what context? There's many things on the street that can improve one's skills.
Better weapons and other items. We are returning to Deepwell, and I have a feeling that many dark events will be starting.
He looks you over really quick. Very well, and think I have something that might do the trick. And he hops down, and again, the bottom of the curtain furls again, and you can hear some clattering and whatnot. And he comes back and throws a sheathed short sword with a paired dagger beside you, or in front of you. This, and he pulls the blades out of each just enough for you to be able to see the blade without actually pulling the full thing out of the scabbard. And then these are both not necessarily magically enchanted, but they're silvered. If you are going to Deepwell, you may need something of this make.
I presumed as much. Is silver all you have available?
In the realm of dealing with Deepwell, for the time being, yes.
And lastly, in the return to Deepwell from here, it has been quite some time. Has there been any changes that one must be aware of before entering, particularly involving our circles?
The Veiled Mistress is still at war with the Mortal Hand. They vie for control of the city. What lords are able to stop the two of them have been slowly wiped out and eradicated if they haven't chosen one side or the other.
Interesting. Then yes, the silver weapons will do.
Morlock may give you better resources than here. However, it will cost more.
Is there a way I can reduce the price through your dealings?
Unfortunately, no. King Caddock runs a type ship, and what groups are there swear loyalty to him, even in their underdealings. I can give you these as a pair for 50 gold pieces.
50 shall do. And do you have a recommendation for best passage through the forming rapids, making our way north?
You will need a barge, and more likely than not, you will need somebody who knows the waters. I would suggest Cavill. He knows the ways, and he knows what's mostly safe when you're heading upstream.
Excellent. And then Corvus will, with one hand still up, respectfully reach into the pouch and drop 50 gold
Thank you. And he kind of just motions, and you proceed to leave. With that, we're going to transition over to Eden really quick. Eden, as you disappear, looking for a tree line, the one that you see, the trees that you see mostly are up near the lighthouse. There's a small grove up the hillside, or the cliffside, toward that central kind of beacon, constantly rotating. It's like almost like electric blue coloration coming from the light within.
So like there like in general, like there's not like a bunch of trees right here, right? Like it's just
Not
sporadic.
not around White Harbor in particular. No, the
Okay.
biggest kind of like clump or like grove would be up toward the lighthouse.
Eden will, after spewing the lime water out, and recoil to the awfulness that was this strange bitter drink. Eden will take note of said little tree clumpy and will just be Eden and go to it. Yeah. Not like trying to be sneaky, just kind of being like, huh. And once she gets there, she's going to reach into her cauldron and take out one of the blooms and kind of debate briefly before, like, and looking at like the lighthouse will set it down, and then we'll use druid craft to help the second of the three blooms take root.
Okay, make a spell check for me.
Alrighty. Oh, cool. Yay, my dice only like me when I try to hit things. That's good. Anyways, that is a 25.
With a 25, you plant this bloom there, this bud there, wrapping it in leaves and dirt and vines. You can see it start to push up through the vines that you made. Looks, from what you can tell, living, that it'll take root and that it will hold here.
I figure at least it's another anchor point, right? Okay. Pat, and then turns and starts walking back towards the rest of the group.
Okay.
Out of here.
Cool. Make your way back to the group. And as you make your way back to the group, that's where we're going to take a quick break. So, make sure you put the word barefoot, Barefoot, in chat for your chance to, as I'm collecting them, win a set of Umbral Oculus dice. A full set that look like this. They're beautiful. And they're purple. And they're... Oh, shit. I dropped... Oh, God. And they're beautiful. And they're awesome. And they're nice and teal and beautiful. But yeah, you can get those if you spell barefoot right. And yeah, we're going to take a quick, like, 5 to 10 minute break. And we'll be back to continue our adventure. See you in a bit, guys.
See you soon, folks.
Shit. There we go. I couldn't
That
hit the
helped.
button. What? Welcome back. So as Eden, you are making your way back down the cliffside, following this trail. Art, you just acquired. We're gonna backtrack to you because you desperately wanted to get your hands on the lime water. So you get passed over this case of lime water. What would you like to do? The world's your oyster.
Corvus has already walked off.
Corvus is gone at this point. If you want to try to
Yeah.
look for him, you can, but you would have been kind of...
I don't think I have what I need present. Wait, Corvus? Where did Corvus go?
And you go running off. Go ahead and give me perception or investigation.
I think investigation will be slightly better. That'll be a synthetic 20.
All right. So you don't see any signs of him visually, but the one thing you do notice is Corvus, even though he's pretty light, generally pretty light on his feet, his boots are like solid metal, and when they sink into the ground, they leave a very distinct mark. So you're able to trail him, following the main thoroughfare to this alleyway behind the White Clam. Yeah, that's what I said it was called, White Clam. There we go. And right as you're kind of turning the corner, you do see Corvus leaning up against the wall of the building in the alleyway.
Oh, there you are. I was wondering if I could ask you something.
And as you walk into the alleyway and get a little bit closer, you notice that that Corvus is shadowy and wispy. The features of him look very distinct, but it's almost as if it's a shadow of his former self, and you immediately recognize that that's one of his phoenixes and not him.
My apologies. Well, actually, I'm not sure. Can you actually understand me? I'm not entirely sure if I can talk to you or not. But if you can understand me, sorry, you're not the one that I was after.
This is a critical moment, Innkeeper. How aware is my phoenix as its own being? I know it can't speak or anything, but
The phoenix, whose eyes are already down, like the head is kind of face down, looks up, like just very gradually, not making eye contact with you, but like to somewhat look in your general direction, but then puts their head back down.
Okay. I don't suppose you could point me in the direction of where Corvus actually is, if you even understand me.
The phoenix stays silent. Doesn't move, doesn't shift.
Fair enough. Okay, then the investigation continues.
Make a, you know what? Give me an insight check.
Insight will be a 7.
So, though Corvus's phoenix is pretty stoic, looking at the ground, following your nose, and following the footfalls of Corvus, you can see that they clearly end at this doorway that the Echo is standing next to. It'd be reasonable to assume Corvus only leaves his Echo somewhere that he would feel that he would potentially be in danger, or he'd have to swap out with, given your past history with him. And so Corvus must be on the opposite end of that door.
Just to clarify what you just said there, I would have deduced that Corvus normally only has Phoenix out when he is potentially in danger.
Like when he would feel that his life would be somewhat threatened to the point where he'd have to swap with a past life. Like, you've been around for the majority of the conversation, so you'd know that, like, Corvus sees his Phoenix as a version of himself that's died. So he usually only brings it out. And if I'm speaking for you or speaking out of turn, Corvus, feel free to speak up. But you would kind of be able to deduce that he only brings it out when he's going into places that are unknown, or that he feels like he'd be in danger.
or places that I'm pretty sure I've already died at before with that weird deja vu sensation.
There you go.
Oh, well, I guess I better find him quickly, because that's usually not a good sign. Okay, let's see. If I was Corvus, where would I be? And I'm gonna find a nearby wall to try to lean against and try and see if that gives me any insight as to where I might be able to find our brooding stoic friend.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Does he stand like this? No, that's not quite right. This is so much better than me. That was a 2.
Unfortunately, you don't quite get the posture, and you spend like the next several minutes trying to replicate the stance, the posture, the broodiness that is emanating from Corvus's Phoenix. And while you're doing that, you know, in the couple minutes that it takes you to do that, the door, this wall of like moss shifts and opens, and you see Corvus stepping out of the doorway before it quickly closes behind him.
Oh, of course! Behind the random moss that is just right here. That makes perfect sense. Okay, anyways, hi, Corvus!
Why did you follow me?
Oh, well, I was wondering if you could help me with something. It's really important.
Corvus looks around. What is it that you require? Sheathing the silver sword after checking it.
And Art's going to completely miss that social cue. Well, you see, I don't have anything on hand to be able to actually make this work. And I remember that the last time we spoke, you said that you always keep a supply of honey on you.
Yes. I keep certain ingredients that are well for making various tinctures and remedies.
Well, you see, this lime water here, there was something about it that just didn't seem quite right, and I absolutely needed to know if that was the crucial ingredient that was missing from this. I needed to try that.
He followed me to this corner, waited to inquire regarding honey for a drink of lime and water.
Yep, that about sums it up.
To create a more effective drink blend.
Mm-hmm.
And Corvus just kind of holds out the non-gauntlet hand, the one that's not armored, and the drink.
Ooh, here you go.
And then Corvus will start taking out various vials that carries in multiple pockets and just starts making a little blend in the mortar and pestle, blends, and will blend a little of the honey in there to then get his own fresh water that he carries, to take that and a bit of the lime to pour in there with the honey to make his own version of the lime water with a honey and extra citrus extract.
There's some extra ingredients there I wasn't anticipating, but that's fascinating. I love watching you work here, which Art was taking absolutely thorough and detailed notes watching Corvus's every single move as he was going through this process. Oh, that's lovely. So, well, can I try it?
Here, take it.
And I try it.
Now, how would I roll to show how well I made this drink?
You're not proficient in cook's utensils, are you?
Cook's utensils, not proficient. I'm skilled enough in house skills.
What skill check is house skills?
Look, I could do basic hemming, basic sewing, what you need.
You know what? I'll give you wisdom. Just make a wisdom check for me.
Oh, so you say that, and the dice are never nice when I do these. Oh, you know what? That's an 18.
18? Yeah, it's not bad. It's got all of the right ingredients, all the right, not layering, but all of the right measurements. Pretty solid drink. Not too sweet, not too kind of like that like syrupy texture that you get from honey sometimes. And it's not too bitter from the lime at all.
Art's going to after taking that, first sip, is gonna just kind of hold the cup and everything and just process this flavor, this information. That's that's something. It I haven't tasted anything like that in quite some time.
Adding honey is not sufficient enough to make a drink more palatable. It's too thick. The viscous material only works with a hot drink. It blends better. With a cold drink, you soften the honey with other herbs. It's much better.
I hear what you're saying. It's just there's something that's always been kind of nostalgic about this for me. The taste of honey is well, it reminds me of home. We used to keep bees. And it I don't know, they just I don't know,
No.
it always just makes me feel good.
I understand. My mother, she enjoys gardening, and of that, she includes small animals and critters as her friends, small birds, bees included. Fresh honey is her preferred method of making tea. When I was ill as a child, honey is good for many things.
It really is. It also makes a surprisingly efficient protective mechanism, which I found absolutely fascinating. So what was your shadowy friend doing out here?
Phoenix stays around when death is possible or has already occurred.
Did someone die?
Not this time. I can only manifest Phoenix in a circumstance in which I would have died or should have died, or will or shall soon. Otherwise, Phoenix doesn't quite manifest.
So you're thinking you're going to die?
I'm certain of it. It's only a matter of when and how many times.
This is a fascinating subject that I feel like I'm going to have to study further. I've yet to experience a phenomenon of someone dying multiple times like this.
Most people haven't. And it's not the simple death of reincarnation. It's I die, and it starts over. Again, and again, and again.
What's it like?
Dying?
Hmm?
Picture the happiest moment of your life. The moment you've had the fondest memories, sincere joy. Now picture watching it as it's all burned to the ground. Hearing the cries and screams of the people you love. Watching everything you cherish wither away. And then waking up all over again to try to prevent it. Death is a loop of absolute torment with no idea on how to make it end or why it's even happening. Death is different for me than others, I suppose, though. Death is considered the end. For me, it's another chapter.
Do you like remember much of your past each time you come back, or?
It's blurry, hazy, but some of the stronger memories remain. I remember growing, living a full life, more peaceful. I remember violent lives. I remember falling in love and falling out of it. I remember watching my closest friends die and other times watching them live a happy life. Infinite possibilities, and I have had the pleasure to watch many of them, for better or for worse. And it doesn't stop. It doesn't end. Listen, I know not what other people experience in the way they live their life. And I know someone who feels anguish inside of them. Your past is what it was, for better or for worse. Through the pains of loss, through the joys of happy memories. All you have is what comes next. Maintain joy. Keep a smile. Find purpose even in the darkest corners. At the end of the day, the only thing you have is a candle to fight the dark. So protect that flame.
If this is too personal of a question, I understand, but do you ever feel a need to reconnect with those from your past?
I tried once. I tried to reconnect with my first love. But there's a certain pain when you've spent a life with someone and you get to see them again. And you're nothing but a stranger to them. All the memories you had, she has no recollection of. You do your best to reconnect, but it's hard to separate what has never happened with what you want to happen. I tend to not reconnect with those of past lives. It gets complicated.
Would you reconnect with them if they wanted to reconnect with you?
And Corvus takes a moment. You can actually see the change in face, the softened stance, and a heartbeat. I can live life over and over, but I would give up the rest of my lifetimes to be able to enjoy seeing those I once thrived with one more time. Even if it's to speak on fond memories or the times that they pissed me off. To share memories with those that are attached to them. That is a joy many take for granted. In essence, reconnect with those that you can while you can.
You know, underneath all the dark and brooding, you've got quite a bit of wisdom in there.
I've died a lot, but also I've spoken a lot. All people have to do is ask me.
Well, if you're open to it, I might have more questions in future.
I have no reason not to answer.
Well, oh, the day's getting away from us. We should probably go find the others.
Yes, I have a way to secure us passage up the rapids, so
Oh,
it's best we find the others before we communicate with our passage.
mm-hmm.
And
Great.
Corvus, back to arm cross, high posture, brooding, walks to find the others.
And as we start making our way out, Art's going to pause for just a moment, reach into his one of his many pockets, and pull out one of those all familiar little duck contraptions. He's just gonna kind of look at it for a second, sort of process what he just heard, and then let out a small sort of smile before putting it back in his pocket and trailing behind Corvus.
Corvus, as you come out of this alleyway, you see this burst of yellow flash across the front of you. Small, maybe about the size of a baseball, just dart. As you turn your head, you're able to catch it. You see a single canary fly through the main thoroughfare of the of White Harbor toward this small archway or this larger archway, I'm sorry, that acts as the kind of entrance from the fields beyond before flying up and you losing sight.
Flies through the archway and then up.
Like he flies, so the canary flies down the thoroughfare where it gets to this archway that acts as like the entrance into White Harbor. It goes up into like the rest, like the open air, right? It moves out of the city, up into the open air and toward the fields.
Part of Corvus wants to see how far I can follow it. As it flies, like does it just keeps flying, like I can see it flying further.
You can see it, like you have good enough like your passive perception is high enough and your eyes are sharp enough where you can see it fly for probably like a good couple 100 feet before it just is lost in the sky.
Oh, I gotta roll because just because it flies doesn't mean I can't follow. I am inclined to follow as rapid as I can. Not the flying, just to see how far I can keep up with it. I'm assuming it moves faster than I can, though. That's for sure.
Well, you're a rogue with bonus action dash, so you can move. Like you got a nice 90-foot movement speed. So I mean, unless this thing is like hauling ass, not flying like a normal bird. Like if the bird is like just straight up just hauling and you're hauling, you guys are probably close to even. But this thing has a head start on you. But I mean, with you running to the edge of this archway and kind of watching out. At this point, you can see it's continuing to fly. Go ahead and give me let's make a perception check.
Dice, don't do it to me again. 21.
21. So you can see it continue to fly. It's now continuing to kind of soar up higher and higher into the air, but it's continuing that direction, that northwestwardly direction through the fields that are beyond White Harbor.
So Corvus will pull out his journal where he has a map of Kandor and all that, and will like kind of do like a pseudo trajectory of the direction it was going to like do a cross line to see what direction it specifically was overlapping with a map, just for notes.
Not hard to figure out. The closest piece of civilization northwest would be Deepwa.
Corvus just like aggressively draws a circle around it, and then we'll like go back to find Art because I know that it was like a hard sprint towards the edge real quick.
So you sprint all the way to the edge of town, and then you look, you do your note jotting, and you're like, oh shit, Art, and you turn around, you come running back to that alleyway, and when you come back, Art's gone. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh no. Ruh-roh.
You did not.
Whoops.
You
I
did
didn't do
not
anything.
wreck that
I didn't
butter
do
baby.
anything. I didn't do anything. Somebody left the butterball alone in an alleyway. What am I supposed to do?
If somebody eats his toes, I will murder.
Whew, they don't eat goblin toes. There's a dice game that revolves around
Don't care.
goblin toes.
Okay, for Eden's little neck of the woods, we have goblin toes. But
You know
we're
what?
not doing that.
That is my fault for leaving Art in front of a door that was definitely shady. Like in hindsight, leaving an unattended goblin was probably my bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
So we get to see
Whoops.
Eden go full rage mode next session, guys. So
Depends on if you actually find Art.
Whoops.
Ruh-roh.
But that's a story for another session. 2 weeks from now.
I'm never giving life advice again.
Uh,
People vanish after I do.
Heartfelt message. Art is no longer on this plane.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm kidding.
Good Lord.
But yeah, let's go around the horn.
I don't want to. Tell me where the fuck Art is.
No.
Oh, no.
Roll. You know what? I'll even roll a persuasion check, and I might private message you.
DC 27.
It doesn't matter. I have a -1. That is my dump stat.
Can I
That was your first mistake.
can I
Ew.
offer assistance even if I don't know where I am?
Oh, wait. I have inspiration.
You do.
Sure.
I do. That's a natural 20 -1.
Cool. No.
Dang, that's still not a 27.
Still no. No. You guys will potentially find out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's
You
in the
need to
upside
come
down.
back and play
Yeah,
Cult
yeah, you
Divinity
guys
Lost with me again.
You guys
That's what
didn't
you
know
need
I
to do,
talked.
Logan.
I talked with. No, I'm
That's
not.
how I
no.
feel.
No, I'm staying away from there. Teddy isn't. He's in his happy place now.
Yeah, not really.
No. Hey, he's. Perception is everything. But yeah, let's go around the horn, starting with the one who's brooding harder than Corvus did today, Eden.
You touched the butter baby.
That sounds.
Touch the butter,
It sounds
baby.
so
Don't.
weird.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I'm sitting here, Taryn, a generally creative human TTRPG player and GM who is currently really missing Cult Divinity Lost. Suddenly. I'm also a dice maker under the moniker of Umbral Oculus Dice. That is UO_dice on the Instagram. Obviously, you can catch me here. You can catch me over on the initiative order on occasion. So pay attention to my socials because I do have a new announcement coming up for later this month where I'll be playing sci-fi sandy things. So you should come watch me there. And coming up in July, I'll be telling my own little story here at the Red Hare Inn. Can I say the name?
Yeah, go for it. Sure.
Okay. It's called Dust to Dust, and obviously I'll be dabbling a little bit into the horror side of Dungeons and Dragons. Not my usual, but I get to have all the fun campiness that I've been waiting for, and I get to drop a fun story with a killer crew. So more on that too. And in the meantime, I'm still going to be sitting there thinking of all of the ways I'm going to get Logan back on Far Realms so that I can torture him in Cult Divinity. So, okay, next.
Aaron, go for it, buddy.
Hi everybody. I'm Renee Beauregard. I'm one half of Dragon Rock RPG Design. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Dragon Rock RPG and on Instagram at Dragon Rock RPG Design. We're cooking up some really cool stuff for the initiative order very soon. At the end of July and the early beginning of August, we are going to be hosting our next Mythical Melee, where we are going to have a Smash Bros. Melee theme. It's going to be really exciting. Going to be lots of fun. And I don't know, maybe that might be for charity. We'll figure it out. I don't know. I'm thinking, makes sense. Smash Bros, Extra Life. Maybe that's a thing that we do. I think that's something we can consider.
You can have okay, I have an idea. We're going to talk about this afterward.
Yeah, but we'll figure it out. Either way, I like to do charity things every now and again because I'm the charity organizer over at the Initiative Order. That's what I do. So come check us out over on the Initiative Order. Speaking of the Initiative Order, on June 25th, we will be hosting an entire day dedicated to a charity stream for the Trevor Project, raising money for queer youth and queer people to make sure that they get all the help that they need. So come check us out over there. Yeah. Darling.
Hello, I'm Utahime, cosplayer, streamer, TTRPG enthusiast, and performer. You can find me on the social medias at Utahime Cosplay and at Brianna DeCosta on Twitter. If you want to see me up to other shenanigans this week, tomorrow, catch me on Renegade Games for the day shift at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. You catch me on the Initiative Order for the Alien TTRPG, No Turning Back at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And then Saturday, I'm going to be on Lord Kasumba's channel, 3 p.m. Pacific time. So again, lots of shenanigans weekly. So you know where to follow me if you're interested. And we're going to pass it to our discount of bards.
Before we go to the discount of bards, last chance, barefoot in chat for these dice that I'm literally throwing at you because
Get them pretty dice.
I'm so cursed. This is the D2, but it's a full set. Put in barefoot. I kind of want to put
It's
in
a really
barefoot
pretty
myself
set,
to
too.
see if my luck is to just continue torturing me. But I've had these.
I mean,
long enough.
honestly,
So
if
I'm
I haven't
here.
won enough, I'd be tempted to as well. Those are really pretty.
I'm here on my knees, begging you to take these off my hand because my luck has been
I'll
that bad.
send more dice.
But they are
and
so
I
beautiful.
promise I won't curse
No,
these
you
ones
won't.
towards
You're
you.
gonna curse them, but they're
Especially
beautiful.
now.
And look how little they are. They're
No.
beautiful.
More.
Anyway, barefoot in chat. Take them off my hands.
take all the pretty magical
Pretty,
clacky
pretty,
clacky
pretty,
math
pretty.
rocks.
Wacky, inflatable arm 2 man.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Hi everyone, I'm Eddie the Discount Bard, otherwise known as your humble entertainment for this evening and full-time purveyor of shenanigans. You can normally find me on twitch.tv/discountbard, where I get up to all sorts of various shenanigans ranging from platformers to Sea of Thieves to whatever my current hyperfixation is. Hopefully it gives you a little bit of entertainment and we all have a good time. Otherwise, you can follow me on all the various social medias and TikTok at Discount Bard, where you can follow my shenanigans and other various antics that I might be up to on other channels, on here, on my channel, and whatever the case may be. And let's pass it casually along to last but certainly not least.
Oh, hey, what can I say? Corvus is who I play, but you can call me Jay. Casual. You can find me on all social media at Just2Casual. I've been kind of off social media for like the last few weeks, but it's mainly because I'm taking some time for myself, but also time for my Deep Breath RPG project, which has been reformed, redefined, and might I tell you, it's mighty fine indeed. All the things you love about anime has been remodeled, redesigned, and above all, hitting an essence of nostalgia. People enjoy the things that delight you. Some people fear the things that bring you dread. I will introduce something that hits more of a hint of desire. There's more about that. You can find out at animednd.com, but also so much more coming up the pipeline. That's it. You're welcome.
And I'm your humble innkeeper, Logan Hanley. You can find me here doing D&D things all the time, unless I'm playing video games, but that's really only Traveler's Rest. But yeah, find us here. This week, I got homebrew on Thursday. Friday, you'll find me doing something, whether it's painting minis, more homebrew, maybe video games. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's going to be a vibe day. And then next week, coming up in the Red Hare Inn, we have a special Tales from the Red Hare Inn that I will be DMing with some amazing players from my fitness accountability group. The title of that, I'm not going to spoil anything other than the title, will be Gains and Glory, where we're going to be traveling far, far back into Ecriom's history to look at this group and what they're about to do. But yeah, check us out. We're going to go raid. Oh, wait, hang on. Nope, we're not going to go raid. I need to get rid of these dice.
Gotta end it.
Yes, end it.
Let those dice babies go. Let them go to their new home.
Renee!
Hey!
What can he say? Parents who he plays, but you can call him Renee.
Renee.
Casual.
Yay!
Awesome. Well,
Hey, cool.
that's awesome. Thank you for being here. I will get your information. But in the meantime, we are going to go raid Vancouver by night. And since the Eldritch Queen has dictated that she wants more Cult Divinity Lost, they are playing Cult Divinity Lost. And we're going to go check them out, see what they're doing. And yeah, go buy them around, get them a pint on us here at the Red Hare Inn. And until 2 weeks from now, stay safe. Yeah, and happy adventures. Bye, y'all.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.
Dangerous to go alone. Take us.